Hey guys, how's it going? Young Gunner 89 here with you guys. Wanted to do a video, a segment of video showing down how to completely break down the Sig MCX. Now, this gun, I did a full review on it. As a matter of fact, I believe I did 2 of them on it. And I also did a basic breakdown video. But some people out there were clamoring to see how the pistons broke down, how the bolt carrier group is broke down. Even some people asked about the trigger and everything like that. Now, if I did it all in one video, the video would last at least 20 to 25 minutes. And it would be extremely long, and nobody would really want to watch it. At least, in my opinion, I wouldn't want to watch a 25-minute video. That's why I don't really watch Nothing Fancy's videos, because they're way too long. So, in order to keep people interested, I decided I was going to break it up into a couple segments. Plus, you may be trying to change out a trigger, or maybe you're trying to clean your bolt, and you might just want to watch, that video. You might already know how to do the bolt carrier group or whatnot. So anyways, this first video we're going to do the piston, because that is what was most asked for. So basically, to do the piston, we have our Sig MCX, and obviously it is clear. Make sure we put it on safe, everything like that. So the weapon is clear, and I'm not going to actually clean in this video. I'm just going to show you how to break it down and then how to put it back together. Okay, so simple basic breakdown. Now, one thing I learned from my videos is some people said you don't need to use a pin or a something to push this pin out. What you can actually do is you can actually grab it by the top up here with your thumb, and you can push down, and then whenever you push down on it with your thumb, you can actually come around to this side and give that pin a little push, and then come back around to this side and grab your pin, and this pin will actually pull out by with your finger. So you don't need no tool to pull that pin out. You just got to push down on the top here, and then push, and then pull it the rest of the way out. Again, this is a captive spring or a captive pin, so it's going to stay in there. So that's kind of one thing I learned from you guys, from the comments on the video and comments on the Facebook post and everything like that. So just to make this easy, we'll go ahead and we'll take out our recoil spring assembly and our bolt carrier group. We'll sit that down to the side. Take out our charging handle, so we got that apart, and then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to remove the lower from it, because we are going to have to take the barrel out. So you just give that pin a push, and then come around to the other side, and we'll just close this here, and we'll pull this pin out. So we got our lower apart. And again, as I said, I will do a trigger video soon. Look forward to seeing that. So we're going to sit our lower to the side. We don't really need to do nothing with our lower. Then once we got this pin up and we got our upper off of our lower, we can just go ahead and take our handguard off. Our really nice handguard that the MCX has. Okay, so once we get to this point, we are going to need a Torx T27 bit. I can get to focus in. Sorry, I'm shaking. But anyways, we need our Torx T27 bit, and I just have a standard, just a ratcheting wrench. I already pre-loosened these. So I would just take them all the way out. These, I didn't really explain, these are your 2 screws that hold your barrel in. You don't have to take these out, but it makes it a lot easier. So we're just going to go ahead and take them out. Try to get them all the way if we can. Okay, so that one's out. This one got a little bit more, and it's out. Okay, so we got, these are captive screws. These 2 screws for your barrel. These are captive, but you want to loosen them pretty much all the way. And then you should just be able to grab your barrel, and your barrel should come off. So we have our upper without the barrel and the handguard, so it's sitting here. And this, pretty much what I would do with it is I would just give it a good wipe down, especially all this inside here, where your bolt rides and everything like that. I would give that a good cleaning. It wouldn't even be a bad idea to soak it in hoppies. I have like a plastic bin that's filled with hoppies, and I just let this soak whenever I cleaned it. So we'll set that to the side, and then right now what we have is our barrel. So we have our barrel with our flash hider, or standard flash hider on the end here. And here's your piston that everybody wants to know how to clean and how to break down. Now, how you do the piston, this is all in your manual if you're super curious about that. There's going to be, I'm trying to figure out how to show you guys best. There's going to be, we have our piston. I'll flip it down so you guys can see it better. You're going to have, I really can't get the camera to focus in that good on it. Maybe there. You guys see that little pin right there? It's right on the tip of my finger. There's this pin right here. If you guys look at your MCX and you break it down, you will see that if you have the two-way system, I don't know about the auto-regulating, I don't have that, but you'll see that you have your settings here, your plus, your minus, right? And over here you're going to see a little pin. There we go, we got it to focus in pretty good. Right there, there's that little pin. What you're going to do is, again, I like to take my clear bore indicator, and I'm going to try to see if I can show you guys this best as I actually do it. You're going to, kind of wish you want 3 hands at this point. You're going to depress that pin, and then you're just going to spin your piston. So you're going to spin it. See how this thing spins around in there? See? Once you depress it, you'll push it past that pin, up and over, and then once you get to that point, once it's free spinning in here, you can just go ahead and it should just pull. Let's go over it one more time. Let's depress this. Depress this. Go over it. Now we're back into our two-way. So we want to depress it. I'm going to pull it. And there we go. Now we got it coming off. This is our the two-way system. So we'll sit that down. And then once you sit that down, you're just going to push from the way the bullet would go, basically up. You push up, and here's the piston everybody wanted to know how to break down. So this is your piston, and what I did was I let this part and the selector part, I let both of these sit in that bin of hoppies for about 30 minutes. And also I just let the barrel sit in there so it would clean this good. And I also got in there with some Q-tips and really cleaned where that piston rides in there really good. Because the way the MCX works is your gases are going to blow this piston back. Instead of a direct impingement system where it's going to go, the pressures are going to go back into the bolt and actually blow them back, it's actually going to push this piston, which is going to push your recoil spring assembly and your recoil spring assembly and your bolt carrier group. It's going to push it back. So that's pretty much how the MCX works. So once you get to that point, this point, as I said, you're going to want to clean this. You're going to want to soak it in some solvent, maybe wipe it off, and then before you put it back in, it would be a good idea to give it a little bit of lube. You don't want it dripping wet, but you want it to definitely have a little bit of lube so it doesn't rust. Now I'm going to just drop it back down in there, and you're going to see whenever you drop back down in there, it's going to sit flush. You can give it a little push, or give it a little pull, but it pretty much has to be lined up exact to go down in there. And then you can see it just pulls down in. So once you get to this point, you can take your selector valve and put that back down in there. And then again, you're going to have to depress your lever, your button, excuse me. Whenever you depress the button, it's really tricky, to be honest with you. Depress your button, you're going to spin it, and just a function check, you want to grab your barrel and you want to hear it clicking, so you know it's in there good. So that's in there, and once you have the piston put back in there, obviously you soaked it in hoppies, you got it real clean and everything, you get it back in there, and then you're just going to grab your rifle and you're just going to reinsert your barrel. You want the piston up. So if you have a scope on, you want your piston running parallel with your scope. And you want to make sure you have it in there straight whenever you put it down in there. Now on the MCX you will see, I don't know how good it's going to pick this up, but there's a little button, you see it right there. There's a hole that it will go in, and that's going to set your headspace and everything like that. And you see you push it down in, and that button's going to click in there. So if we have really good eyes, we can look in there and you will see that button in there? I'll use my orange thing. You'll see that button in there. See it? So that's how you know you got your barrel back in there, basically. And then you're going to take your T27 bit, and you're just going to, what I like to do first is snug everything up. So you just want to turn these screws. You just want to get everything pretty much just hand tight. Okay, you don't want to put no pressure on it right now. You just want to get everything to where the screws are mating, and there's a little bit of pressure, but not much. You don't want to start torquing it yet, because now once you do that, you got it in there. You're going to take your bit out of your wrench. Going to sit the barrel down. This is the Wheeler fat wrench. Right now I have it set to approximately 40 inch-pounds. You can see that red mark. It's approximately 40 inch-pounds. And you're going to see why I have it set to 40 in a minute. So we're going to take our bit, we're going to put it in there. We're going to grab our barrel and everything like that. And we're going to take it, and we're going to start with the first screw. We're going to put it in there, and you heard it click. That's 40 inch-pounds. Now we're going to take the second one, 40 inch-pounds. Now we're going to sit it down, and you can stage this however you want, but ultimately you want to get to 60 inch-pounds. So to work this Wheeler fat wrench, by the way, what you're going to do is you're going to pull out on the bottom and actually turn it clockwise, and you will see that the red dial will actually go up. So we're going to go ahead and we'll set it to, let's go ahead and set it to about 50 inch-pounds. So we got it set to 50 inch-pounds right now. And again, start with number 1. Clicked. Number 2. Clicked. Okay, so now they're set to 50 inch-pounds. Now let's just go ahead and let's jump it up to 60, because if you look in your owner's manual, they want 60 inch-pounds. Okay, so we're set right at 60 inch-pounds. So now we're going to start with number 1. Clicked. Number 2. Clicked. Okay, so we made both of those click. Both of these, both screw 1 and screw 2 are clicked to 60 inch-pounds. Now if you so desire, you can go back, and your owner's manual actually tells you to go back to number 1 and give it a second click. So they're both set to 60 inch-pounds. So now we have our piston back together, we have our barrel in here, everything's lined up. Now at this point, what you can do, what I would do, is I would put your bolt carrier group and your charging handle back down in. You know what, let's put the rail back on. Probably be easiest to put the rail back on at this time. So we'll go ahead and we'll slide our rail back down. Push that down in there. So that's out of the way, so we can grab it by the rail. Now you guys know the charging handle, you want the tab facing down. You're going to push it in there. And it'll click in there. Whenever you clean the piston, I would clean the bolt carrier group. As I said, we're going to get a video on the bolt carrier group. You guys see how long this video is taking. Imagine if I did a video on everything at once. So you're going to push this all down in there. And once you get that in there, you can connect your lower and your upper. Okay, so you push that pin in, hinge it down, push on it with the thumb, take your pointer finger, throw that back through, function check everything. Okay, so it's all back in there. We're back together. We're set to 60 inch-pounds on both of our screws. Our piston is clean now at this point, and everything's good to go. Guys, thanks for watching. As always, like, share, subscribe. In the future, I will do the video breaking down the whole bolt assembly. I will also do a video changing out this trigger because you guys know, if you guys already have the MCX, you guys know that this trigger is pretty heavy. Now, if you give it a good cleaning, I feel like it definitely loosens it up some, but it's still a really shitty trigger for a basically $2,000 rifle. We will do a video changing out the trigger whenever I get my trigger. Don't know which trigger I'm going to buy yet, so that's kind of the hold up there. But we're going to put it back into safe, and yeah, it's all cleaned and good to go. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Go check out some of my other videos. Sig MCX, great rifle, my favorite rifle.